How's it going, everybody? It's Lockhart here, and today we are talking about Higan Eruthyll. And more specifically, some of the things that kind of have come out in the last little bit. One of them being the sales report, apparently, from whatever that is or wherever it comes from. Off the top of my head, honestly, I don't know how credible those things are. And a part of me feels that way because I've never actually cared. And this was probably one of the first times I've ever actually taken a look at one of these things. And that's just because I've started this whole content creating journey. And like, I've never had to think about whether or not a game is going to succeed. Because I guess to a degree, a part of me playing this game is creating content for it. It's not a big part, it's a small part. Because I like the game, like the way it looks, the way it plays so far. The fact that they've kind of tried to make efforts to making the game more accessible, easier to play. I do feel like for what I'm doing right now, I'm collecting enough to make a certain amount of pulls per month, I guess. But the thing is we've had accidental repeat banners, which is not a big deal for me because Sersled I liked, and it would have been nice to get some more copies of her, but I was not able to. But we've had two versions of kind of the same style banner. So you had Searsled's and then the ice tank, kind of like same structure, and I wouldn't have minded more of that, which is because like it came with story and it came with like new things that kind of made it added flavor to the world of Higan. But Wandering Fantasy or whatever, Wonderland Fantasy, I know I've mentioned it a couple times, but I'm not crazy about this like select how hard you want your game mode to be in order to make a certain level of achievements, and then tailor how difficult the stage is in order for you to really maximize who you do have. It's good, it is different to a degree, but it's not my cup of tea, I think, at the end of the day. So some of the things I do like are the fact that they are running certain things like being able to take a look at some flavor text. You know, we have this character who kind of just came in, an emo element, which is cool, and then we have her as well. We haven't gotten too much info on her other than like this, you know, her weapon is Heaven and Earth, which is kind of like, wow, that's pretty charged. And then element, party, whatever. But where are the character events? You know, like I wouldn't mind some character events in order to feel a little bit more connected to the game, because when I take a, so, you know, I'll use Antello, you know, Fungus Mage. I feel like there's a story there, and there was a little bit of flavor text to her, but there's no like story event to kind of tell the tale a little better. You know, like I still get to look in here and whatnot, but nothing beyond that. And I find that quite perplexing, because it's like a character comes out and I just kind of, I'm left feeling like, what is the purpose of me pulling for this character? You know, because with Searslet and the Frost Tank, I apologize for not completely remembering her name, but you know, they had an event, like she was a launch character, so generally you knew she was going to be pretty good and you were going to have her last for a little bit. And then Sharu, like when she came out, she had her own little story and it was cool, so you're like, oh, okay, like, you know, there's a lot of like reason for me to want to pull for this character. This character was just like mega flop for me. I'm sorry to anybody who pulled for this character, but I was like, oh my god, like no, absolutely not. What a waste of my life. And then legendary Euphoria, like sure, like, you know, cool caster mage and blah blah blah. Like some of those are okay because there's like some backing to it. Because even with Euphoria, you had the cool little side quests that you could like kind of dig into and learn more about them and such. But I am kind of feeling a little lackluster. Like I feel like it's a little lackluster on the content part when it comes to like a character release, because like the length of this is a little long for me. And I'm not super crazy about it because I'd rather something else. Like a lot of the other games are really ramping up with content because it's summertime. Most people who play games are going to be wanting to, you know, see some of that. I don't care for the skins portion, although the way they do skins in Higan is by far top notch. Makes the most sense. You know, you straight up just grab the skin, you know, you call for Wallet Coon and then you get what you want. But yeah, I don't know, you know, Modern Fantasy again, not my pick. I would have just done Searchlight again, really. So I thought that, and then on our official Reddit post, we got this come in, and we see at the bottom that Higan has hit quite a low, right? Like a 80k going from 130, and then the 130 actually drops down from much further than that from the previous month. And I feel like a little bit of this is due to the fact that people have not a whole lot of faith in who they're pulling for, what's going on right now, and you know, like there's no real reason to continue to stay engaged. I feel like that's what's happening, and it kind of sucks because I like the game and I like to cover it, and I don't want to cover it for nobody, you know, because I feel like when I first started doing all this YouTube stuff and content creating, y'all have been so amazing, being able to like comment on videos, comment in Reddit, and kind of, you know, make me feel like, oh, okay, like, you know, and I could pick your brains via your comments, so I could figure out like what I would like to do too, like what I could take from those little bits of conversation. But when you see like it's a bullet hit like this, where, and that's like at the same level as Artery Gear, and Artery Gear has been around for quite a while too, but I don't blame them because Artery Gear kind of sucks, to be honest. I mean, whatever. It's just, I don't know, I am concerned to a degree. Yeah, because again, I like the game. It's been really good to me. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of it is voiced. Even when you're building hearts and whatever, like there's bits of story there where it's completely voiced. So I feel like, don't mind the place, please. I don't want to hear it. It's just a placeholder. I need to put it somewhere so I don't delete it by accident. But yeah, you know, lots of things to think about. Let's make sure that like we keep Higan on the map. My suggestion into this for this game is not gonna lie, like most places have gone the collaboration route. You don't have to, but as like your first game as a developer, I feel like it's something that you want to think about, because you want to carry, you want something to kind of jump on the back of, so that way you can continue to try to hopefully be successful. So I don't know what the plan is. Obviously would love to get some insight on what's coming soon, because we came in really charged with changes that needed to happen and felt really good about it, but it just feels like we are on a lull right now, and has me a little bit worried. in terms of like losing a game that I have enjoyed making content for. So that's kind of my 2 cents. I don't want to be a downer, right? I just want to share my thoughts because I'm really hoping that, again, game sticks around because the art is wonderful. The game's just wonderful. It is polished, it's getting there, and it seems like the devs care. And I don't know if this is going to be like it's the first child syndrome where they're just trying to figure it out, and then the second game is going to be really good, and then they're going to re-release a Higan version as a third game, and it's going to be like a million times better with like tons of collabs and such. But you know, figure it out, y'all. Like let's get to it. Like how do we get our player base to be involved? Because you fixed some of the initial things that happened with it, like combat power being a big issue, and personally it doesn't feel like that anymore. But I'm also like, you know, I've also played the game since day one. I know my characters can clear most of it, not everything, and that's okay because I just don't want to, you know, I want to experience most of the game. And you do things like double drops when it counts, when it's like absolutely needed. So, you know, it seems like a lot of the pieces to the puzzle are there, but we are missing something. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Are y'all still playing the game? Are y'all contemplating letting it go? When you see those like these like reports here, do they mean anything to you? Have you looked at this a lot? Like, I want some insight on these because I see this and I'm like, wow, that's a big drop from when the game started. But then I look at other games that I've played, that I've seen here and that I've played as well for a long time. And it's like, okay, like some of these games like plateau after a while. Like a game like Eversoul, I did not think people would still be playing. I played that game when it first came out too, and I was like, oh, it's like whatever. And even Punishing Grey Raven, like they're still making some games. I'm sure they're not making anywhere nearly as much as when they initially did, and they've plateaued quite a bit. And same, I think NeuroCloud, I don't know, it's making way more than I thought it ever would. I'm surprised Alchemy Stars is still even bothered to be listed here. And honestly, I thought Ardor Gear would have been in the like a long time ago. So also very surprised to see them. And I know Tact OP Symphony, it's only been for the last like 2 days. So like that's inaccurate. I'd imagine, I'd like to see what it's going to be like for July versus this month, because this is just June. Yes, May and June comparable. I don't know what Grimlight is, but this is like this must be like an intern running the game at this point at 10K. Like that doesn't even cover minimum wage. folks are hurting, you know. So please, some insight. Drop it in the comments. Talk about it. Let me know. I'd like to get some reassurance. Is it still worth covering this game? Are y'all still playing? Are y'all looking to drop? Like, what's happening? Because, you know, not that I'm going to follow the masses. It's just a part of my critical thinking where, you know, I haven't done any research. I've seen these things. They're kind of presented to me. So I like to get some insight on them and, you know, reach out and basically make a video out of it. Anyway, if you've watched until this point, please like and subscribe. Like, you know, it'd be amazing. The Higan folks have been so cool, I think, up until this point. And I would love to continue to get there at and if I make one of my milestones, which is either 1K subs or 100K views total, I would love to be able to do a giveaway of one piece of Gunpla, not a piece, like a whole Gunpla kit, to somebody, because I'm very passionate about it on the side. I love my Gunpla, and I love building and painting, custom painting. If y'all want to see a video of those, please let me know. I'd love to share that too. But that's it on my end. Please like and subscribe, follow, share, all that stuff. Thanks so much.